Hey everyone, we have 3 games today that we're going to look at. 3 Ark Nova games, all featuring Observation Tower and using the marketing ability as a first reward for a project. Marketing, otherwise known as player sponsor for money. So this is definitely not going to be something that you do every game, but I think these games sort of highlight when it's good to do it and how strong it can be. So the first game we're going to look at is Propaganda Panda against, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but a decently rated opponent. I think they're like 1700 in arena. Panda is first player. The projects are Asia, Africa, primates, and Panda's end goals are architectural and favorite. So from this hand, yeah, also worth noting that we have a university on 5, so that means it's always worth keeping the Africa release project just in case you get lucky and find something. A big animal early release is just easy way to lock up the best reward in the game. Otherwise, there's a few different picks. The tape are pretty good because it just gives a quick Asia 2, which we can do. We can grab Asia partners who first move. The Cobra has a lot of upside later, and it is pretty playable if we take Vet as well. So, I mean, I kind of like these 4 picks. Also worth noting that Panda does play with the snakes turned off, so that is why these cards are covered, even Vet. It is these 4. Yeah, I think pretty straightforward. And amazing first move of the game. I think it would be fun to like record how often these different moves occur, but first move of the game, snapping an ostrich, is not something you're going to see in very many games at all, but here we are. This is why keeping the Africa release just has a lot of upside. Like, even if the ostrich wasn't here, the marabou's a fine release, but there's also like cheetah, secretary bird. There's a lot of easy playable big Africa animals. Opponent starts by building a size 2 next to the tower. And we have really no reason to go for Asia 2 anymore, so I think Panda makes a pretty nice decision and takes hand size here. Because the ostrich is playable if you build a 5 size over the 5 money, but then you don't get to make use of the tower's ability. So I do kind of like building the 5 size next to the tower, and then in that case, you need to break before you can play the ostrich. Hey everyone that's already here, well, I'm seeing some complaints in the chat already. Opponent helps us out by doing cards now. They snap up bird breeding, so we're expecting them to take a partner zoo. Panda builds a 5 size here. The location's a little bit interesting. So touching 2 water and a rock is nice. Obviously you're always going to touch the rock, but you could also build it down here to get the X token as well. Yeah, I was going to say hand size also very nice because the ostrich is going to give you 2 cards, but that'll be next round. Opponent does grab Asia, so presumably they have an Asian bird size 1 or 2, maybe the hornbill, and we just break here. Breaking's very nice because the opponent has to discard 2 cards, we don't have to discard any. Panda is playing around native farm animals. That's an excellent point. You know what? That may be the case. We have bamboo forest appearing as well. That can already be used on the taper here. Opponent does break 5, so tells us 2 things. They don't have a sponsor they want to play, and it tells us this is going to be a short round, so like absolutely no use for a second worker here. Let's go ahead and play the ostrich. And get pretty nice draw export on Africa when Africa's a base project. Amazing draw there. Opponent does play the Hornbill. They're in a bit of they've put themselves in a bit of an awkward position. In that they really want to do a project, but they have no X tokens and they've broken 5, so they should certainly clever back build here just to get association higher, but now they're also kind of forced to X back cards, otherwise Panda's just going to cause the break before they spend their worker. But Panda does cards first, just to snap up the Bamboo Forest. It forces the opponent to X back cards. I mean, the opponent could do cards and break there, it's probably not even that bad for them. But here we go, project into marketing first, and so the sort of trigger point would be, this is an amazing time to play Vet, because we're about to get our second university here, which is another reason why the university start was great. So it means Vet instantly gives 5 money. And then during the break, we can also play Export on Africa. You can also reverse the order, doesn't particularly matter. And we get 3 upgrades here, and in typical Panda fashion, build is not one of them. But also it doesn't really need to be. Because the next plan for Panda is going to be play the taper into the size 5 and then release it most likely, unless something better shows up. And he does play that. So interesting argument. You could argue to play Export on Africa first so you can clever back build and then break 5. But it's a bit... You can do it in either way. We'll see the advantage of the other move afterwards. Opponent takes snapping. They realize that a work is going to do them no good. They do snap up the Sloth Bear. So they could be going for like Asia 4. And very nice science library shows up. Hey Rat Pong. This is just the break here. We don't need to play Export on Africa because we can just play it during the break. And the great thing with upgraded sponsors is we can continue to push the break while getting money, even though our income sucks right now. Income's only 7. After Export on Africa is played, it's going to be up to 8, but still really bad at the moment. And now the advantage is you can clever back build to be below sponsors for this round. So it makes breaking in this round a bit easier. Opponent does snap up the science library. We have an emu on display, which we're just going to ignore. But pretty nice timing for them. We're pretty sure they don't have a sponsor in hand. They only have Sloth Bear and something else. And they don't particularly want a short round. They have a lot more money than Panda right now. But Panda just starts with the taper here with the full intent to release it. We can definitely dig away the sea lion from our hand. It's not doing very much. The alligators, an interesting dig. It does reveal a tech institute. Actually chooses not to dig away the sea lion. I find that very interesting. I think on average you're going to hit something better than a sea lion here. At the very worst, it is an X-playable animal, but still. Opponent actually spends an X to build 5 right now, a 3 and a 2. The 2's very funnily placed, so that heavily suggests they want this Ibex. Panda does a very good move and remembers Vet here, which I already forgot about. But they does the Bamboo Forest into snapping, most likely for the Tech Institute. The great thing about Bamboo Forest is here it gives another rep to get the next worker. Oh, and even 2 more rep from 8 CP reward. Okay, that does gets basic research from 10 rep and then gets to snap up Tech Institute as well. Panda says he forgot to dig away the sea lion. Fair enough then. Opponent does cards here. Maybe the opponent expects a bit of a longer round because Panda just dropped 2 sponsors, but I don't think it's going to be the case. Expert on Asia is another playable sponsor. Another Africa animal. Another Africa animal. And sponsorship primates can go. We can see in the display is large animals and expert on Americas in slots 5 and 6. Opponent gets their first university. That does give them an upgrade from 5 reputation, which is animals. And Panda's a little nice. He does get Africa Partner Zoo. I think you could definitely break here because I'm fairly sure they want to play the Ibex from range. But this is good timing to get Africa Partner Zoo. It allows us to clever back build again if we want to, which we do. They do. And they also play their Sloth Bear. Yeah, of course, that's what the size 3 was for. So, I mean, yeah, they boost up a So straight away. So, I mean, this is fancy play from Panda, but you wouldn't say the opponent's in a bad position at all. They currently have a point lead. They have their next project to do. But Panda does have good sponsors lined up, even though basic research is not going to do anything right now. But this is just a break here. The great thing about having marketing is you choose the order of things, so you can play Tech Institute during the break here and still get the X token from it, which is massive. Sorry, still get both X tokens from it. Snappable things here, you definitely want to take away the kangaroo because the opponent can leech off the release. Tech Institute giving us 2x tokens, but also leaving us very broke, only 16 money. So we do want another short round. The good thing is with 4 X tokens banked up now, we can have a short round. Like this round could literally be like Giraffe, Booster Sos, break 9. Opponent does just support Asia at 2 into Worker. Worker does feel a tad slow. I think they could definitely look at like size 2 or even play a sponsor for money themselves. But Panda does start slow, just grabbing Asia Partner Zoo. And chooses to upgrade a So this is a classic no upgrade build Panda game. Even though build would look kind of nice here, we desperately want smaller enclosures to play. Like at least these two, like Rock Monitor is going to be the next playable animal. Opponent does play their victory column. Thank you, Yeti. So it does manually build a size 2 and always draw from the deck. Hits the Caracal, so now suddenly there's 5 Africa in hand. Which is extremely lucky, if I will say so. Opponent builds a 4 size and takes large animals from display, so that means presumably they have more than 1 large animal in their hand already. They do build a nice kiosk down here. So they have a massive income advantage now, 21 to 10 plus a point lead. We just know that Panda has 5 Africa in hand. Panda does a small cards action just to find more fodder for sunbathing, I assume. Love it when that happens. Like, when you're trying to hunt for cards to sunbathe, just more very playable sponsors show up. The Mangalitsa goes, but how much of this do you want to sunbathe? Maybe the kangaroo, maybe... I guess Quarantine Lab, because we're so far behind in appeal, we're just never going to get attacked. Opponent does cards. When here we just spend an extra play Cable Car. Okay, that makes sense. You definitely want to play Cable Car before the Rock Monitor comes out. And the extra 5 money is nice. Now we can consider building a... Actually, still a bit short. I was going to say build a 2-size and play the Rock Monitor and Caracal. No, sorry. You have more than enough money to do this. Build a 2-size, play the Rock Monitor, sell a card or 2, play the Caracal. Opponent grabs their second University. They now get their third Worker, and they're still missing a Partner Zoo. Panda does have all his upgrades, so opponent's just catching up with upgrades now. So even though they have a point lead, they still have to waste a little bit of tempo to get second Partner Zoo. Another manual 2-size. Maybe Panda regretting not upgrading build right now. Opponent plays Secretary Bird. Hopefully they don't have a release for it. If they do, it's a very good value project. But it does get them their 5th conservation point. And they choose to take 5 money instead of 3 cards, which I think is nearly always wrong. I know they have 5 in hand. It must mean that their 5 in hand are really good and they don't want to discard anything. Otherwise, I think the upside of drawing 3 from the deck is always worth more. Background is 2 black. Why? It's like a little corner of the screen. You've got the whole colourful board to look at. We do have this move, so Rock Monitor, what gets sold here? I would say Quarantine Lab and Kangaroo. Plays Caracal too. Unfortunately, native farm animals is not an animal to be hunted. Otherwise, it would have been pretty damn nice here. But that goes away. We do pick up an Anaconda. And get double Clever. You can definitely clever back cards. I'm going to say you could almost consider clevering back Association. Do we have a project to do? Not really. We definitely don't want to do 2 Africa, so you could almost consider it. We could grab 3rd University here, which we do want at some stage for Vet and Tech Institute. Opponent does not break. They play Guided School Tours. And opponent can grab their Partner Zoo, so they're pretty happy to stay in the round. Panda sees that and just says, I'm just going to break here. It does make it awkward for the opponent, because ideally they'd want to support 2 projects next round if they had them, but now they have to dedicate a worker to a Partner Zoo, which means they can't do 2 projects. So it's going to make it tricky for next round. They could just ignore Partner Zoo, but it feels bad not having cards upgraded when they're at 9 reputation. We do have first snap for the Mamba, which is just another Africa tag. Do take that away. And get to play Expert on Asia here. You could definitely put in the corner here to clever back build, but we actually need build for the giraffe, unless the plan is to just put in the 5-size, which I could definitely see as well. Just builds around here. Asia release shows up, which the opponent snaps away. How are the end goals looking? Favorites are looking pretty good. Asia release, and then the Vulture to follow up. We definitely don't want the opponent getting that. The opponent does have first move. They build a 5-size, maybe for the Vulture. Panda says he does build here. First, we're so 7ing, so Partner Zoo plus Uni. Okay. Does give the opponent some more money. But potentially looking to grab Americas here to make the Anaconda playable. We are still behind in appeal, so Constriction can be brutal at the right time. It's always nice to have that in hand ready. Should have taken 2 rep to deny the Vulture. That's a good call as well. Yeah, it is scary. With their cards at 5, it looks like they should snap it up here unless they have something to release already. They do, yes. I mean, thankfully their 5 size is not touching the tower, so they do have a bit of reduced benefit, but it's still a fantastic project for them. Somehow, you should still always draw from the deck, because now Geologist is the next card to appear, which Panda must be very happy to see. It does build a 3 size for the Giraffe. He said in chat that he should have just put in the 5 size. It's nice having it open for later, but it does save a lot of tempo. Opponent does play the Vulture, getting ready to release it next move. And scores it back to level. Their sponsors aren't even that bad. I mean, we do have 2 endgames plus Export in Africa, which is very nice. And we do have a better project coming up, which is Africa 5. Just the Giraffe. Clever's back cards, which is fine. Wants to leave sponsors up high so we can cause the break next move, and we'll need Associate 4 anyway with the Vet in play. Opponent does their Asia release and takes 5 money. I think, we don't know what their hand is, but I think 2 size is much better for tempo at this stage of the game. Once people start getting around 40 or 50 points, there's probably only going to be 1 more break. And it means your actions are really valuable. You don't really want to waste time building here. And they do get 5 more money from not having a sponsor to play. I mean, they are happy to stay in this round a bit longer, but Panda's going to associate and then cause the break. Yeah, so he does take 2 size himself, which is definitely the correct move when we have 3 2-size animals that we want to play. This one does get the reputation to draw up Geologist, which is an amazing draw here. Also has enough money to donate. Even Diversity Research is a great pickup here if he can get it. Opponent plays Expert in Small Animals for 2. We know their hand has Large Animal Project in it. We don't know much else about the opponent's hand. But this is just break 7 here. So we get to play Geologist during the break now. This is break number, what, 4 or 5? We've played... So this will be the 5th sponsor played with this ability. Cable Car was the only one that was manually played. So it's giving us some pretty crazy value right now. And he's playing around the lack of money by just breaking with upgraded sponsors. Does snap away the Australia release. Even though Diversity Research would be nice, this is probably the last round. Not sure we have time to get it out and play it. Geologist giving a casual 8 points. No endgames at the moment for it. Although we're close, if we could find time to build up here for these 2 rocks, then it is an endgame shield as well. Opponent does snap away Diversity Researcher. Just a denial snap. Yeah, and they start off potentially the last round by building. This is why 2 size is just a lot more valuable than 5 money at this stage of the game in particular. And a kiosk is just a pointless build. But it tells us that they have enough money for what they want to do. And also not building a 1 size. Panda actually starts the round off with doing a cards action. I guess he's hunting for a project here. Could also be waiting for the opponent to get above in appeal to hypnosis. But we do have a project with a Cobra plus release. Maybe also looking for a bigger animal to fit in the 5 size. Okay, just draws off the cheetah. Get small animals, which could be nice. Cards action is extremely troll. That's what I was thinking, like, should just really try to finish the game before the opponent gets anywhere close. I mean, they have a 5 size and a 2 size, so they don't have a ton of enclosures left. Also not clear what project they're going to do. The opponent does cards as well. Oh, also the cheetah just disappeared. What? Rest in peace, cheetah. We do spend an X here. Just monkey into Mambo. Giving 2 clevers now. Build goes down and cards goes down. Opponent plays the brown bear, which is maybe one of the best animals they could have put in there. Depending on if they have projects to do or not. But that's one way they're definitely going to come back into this game. ×2 on association. Plus flamingo. So that gives them Africa 2 at least. They do build another pavilion. Here, Panda just ensures that Favorite Zoo is maxed out, and we do play still just out of hypnosis range. Can't constrict them either. But Cobra does give a nice X token back with Expert in Asia. X token important for Expert in Africa. And the main thing is just the 5th small animal to support small animals with. But there should be enough of a lead anyway that it doesn't particularly matter. Opponent does 2 Africa into 3 X tokens, donates once. And looks like they're getting last uni themselves. Ah yes, large animals. Okay, large animals for 2. 12 money, which they do donate. It gets them kind of close, but I mean, Panda's finishing the game here. Unfortunately for them, they miss out on their 2 endgames by just 1 species. So there's really no endgame that gets them the win here. Oh yeah, Panda does get last partner zoo and does small animals into X tokens. Could have also taken money to donate, but prefers the appeal from the X tokens. And opponent's last move is breaking, which is definitely not the right move when your opponent has player sponsor for money and a size 2, so Panda got a bit of a gift here to finish the game off. And opponent's best move was probably building a single pavilion. And they nearly got punished hard if Medical Breakthrough had showed up, but they still get punished a little bit here. They do get their 1 victory column appeal. But Panda gets an extra appeal from Spokesperson. And does get to build the size 2 touching 2 rocks. for Geologist endgame, and does get an extra X token for Expert on Africa. So that was a 5-point break for Panda there. And his endgames come through 135 to 95. So, I mean, not a particularly close game. It was definitely close at certain stages. But there was just such great tempo. Like, 6 out of these 7 sponsors were played with this marketing power. You can argue the 6th one shouldn't have been, but just incredible tempo, allowing him to break with upgraded sponsors and just keep pumping out the sponsors. And it gave a lot of endgame points. Great combination of Expert on Africa and Tech Institute to be able to keep cores in the break, as well as Vet saving X tokens. And pretty clutch Geologist coming in there late for a lot of extra points to help cross. That was game 1. How many turns was that? Yeah, that was so I mean, the impressive thing is it's a 29-turn game with 7 sponsors played. Yeah, played sponsors 7 in 29 turns, but there were 6 breaks. And yeah, Panda did cause 5 breaks while still being able to play 7 sponsors. But we have a few more games like this. This one is from BDW, who's been a long-time believer in marketing first. So we're going to see it from his perspective in this game. It's definitely a very satisfying ability. It always feels good when you can play it early and just have it work out. We're not starting with great sponsors here, only Sea Turtle tanks, so we'll see what direction this game goes in, but Projects of Primates Australia Herbivores, nothing too particularly exciting here. BDW is also second player. I'm not sure what you keep here. I'd be very tempted by... I'm almost saying Kookaburra because Australia, but it's pretty average. I think small animals definitely worth a keep. You could go like Barn Owl, Martin. Yeah, it's a lot. There's also Sea Cave, Anaconda. BDW's endgames are Research and Favorite. Not sure. We'll see what he decides to keep. There's a lot of options. Okay, I did not expect a Sea Turtle tank keep here. Andrew, I'm not sure how you can justify this over another small animal, to be honest. I like the Sea Cave potential. The upside on it's big, but you can't release the Sea Turtle tank. I'm not spoiling the results. We're just reviewing games where the player takes marketing first. So we have a small animal. Maybe the Stoats are like a little hero here, playing with the Barn Owl for 2 small animals early. But not sure what we're doing with this Sea Turtle tank yet. We'll see. The opponent does open the game. They start with a 3 size. Okay. I mean, that is a fantastic draw from the deck. This is why we always draw from the deck. Well, BDW doesn't mind playing with the Snakes enabled, so unfortunately we're going to have to deal with them this game. Oh yes, it is saved as a player setting. Which is, it's always funny. I honestly think Panda's the only player that I've noticed that uses it. But as for this draw, we got an alligator to go with a Sea Cave, so instantly rewarded here. There's not a university on 5, but 10 money is still great. Times 2 can still be great. Native farm animals is just fantastic on this map. And herbivores is the base project. Polar bear definitely is better than Sea Turtle tank. I think you get rid of Sea Turtle here. Just gets rid of the Barn Owl. I'm I'm very suspicious of this. Opponent grabs Africa. So they could be eyeing the leopard here. They could also just have like a marabou or something, or one of the monkeys. And here, very similar to last game, BDW sees that he just has a hand of good stuff and just takes hand size. You don't really need to rush to release this alligator round 1. We'll see how good this native farm animals is. But opponent actually throws a curveball and plays the Asia monkey to jump 3. I would say that caught BDW by surprise. Definitely caught me by surprise. And now it's going to be a very short round. BDW does build a 4 size, but won't have time to play the animal, because the opponent's just going to break here thanks to the jumping help. So now one of these has to go. Surely it's the sea turtle tank, right? It's the small animals. Very funny. We also have a pelican that might be interesting as a snap here. Does start with polar bear exhibit. Over the 5 money, cool. Also playing around native pretty well at the moment. Starting up here like Panda did. So we've got 4 native farm already. Pretty easy to get to this corner. It's a good question. Why no 5 size? I mean, 4 size has enough upside here. Plus it's an extra native farm appeal. I mean, Sea Turtle Tank could come in clutch here, like being able to connect this bottom area with native farm. But once you start going over to the left side of the map, you are eating into a lot of the endgame shields you can get from it, so I'm not sure. Opponent does snap up the Asia release, so they will have a project to do now. Here we just go alligator. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pelican snap up. Or even a lesser bird of paradise. Pelican like fits in the 4 size and is Australia, and it's better release potential. I could see it. Oh, I mean, sorry, there's also a science lab here, and that's very BDW play to snap that up. Yeah. It escaped me out there. Not used to seeing it so far down the display. And it does start with their project. Interesting that they chose to snap up the Asia release and not the jungle. They could have done either. They do take 5 money, which is something it's common to see when you start with a release. Unfortunately for them, they're just 1 conservation point short of the 5 CP reward. I think BDW could have done... Well, it's the same position. He didn't have enough money to play the alligator in round 1, but he has enough money after the polar bear exhibit comes out and covers the 5 money if it's a 4 or a 5 size. We just have a draw from the deck here, and now this is definitely the position where it's like, okay, I'm definitely taking marketing here. The hand is just full of sponsors. And the one I'm discarding here is still the sea turtle tank. It's the monkey park, even with primate as a base project. The opponent does take away the pelican. Just doing an upgraded build action. They do go for their 5 money here. We'll also see if he takes the 10 money or the ×2, because he can use both. I'd be inclined to take the 10 money. Yeah, here we go, marketing first. So almost certainly going to see upgraded sponsors. Does Does upgrade it. Does put the ×2 on it as well, okay. Starts off with the science lab. Just draws from the deck, gets a badger, which is fine. Nothing too special, but it's playable. Oh no! So I'll be honest, I haven't seen the replay up to this point. I hadn't seen the replay up to this point. I still would have taken the 10 money, even not knowing what's about to happen, but this is brutal. Yeah, opponent has the Africa Partner Zoo. They play the hippo into just break 5, so this is a huge disadvantage right now. We've just essentially lost 10 money for nothing. Oh my god, and they play a llama to flock with it. The opponent's off to a fantastic start. So they're certainly ahead. They have more points. They have double the income. Thanks to the 5 money. So, I mean, okay, 5 money did make sense so they could play both of these. Hippo is great. That's so devastating. I'd be extremely tilted after that move. And it's the only animal that could have made it happen, really. Because the opponent had no X tokens with sponsors on 4, so Hippo's the only thing that could have caused the break there. But we basically have snapping, kind of like snapping with Science Lab. Being able to draw from the deck is nice. Does get a penguin pool. See what wants to get played here first. Just the expert on Americas. I mean, the extra income is actually very nice during the break. Put the kiosk down. Yeah, 1 extra income, gets 2 more native farm tickets here. What's up with this seed? I have no idea. Andrew, if you're in chat, please explain. It's still lingering. It doesn't even get played here, it's still just here. The ultimate troll turtle tank. Well, Expert in Americas is the same income as Penguin Pool, but it's also 1 cheaper to play for money, so definitely the correct order. It does get to drop Lesser Bird of Paradise, which is great when we have Penguin Pool and Australia as a base project. Also, double breeding breeding program and breeding corporation now could be very interesting. I was wondering if opponent was going to block a uni from us, but they just decided to get Australia Partner Zoo and upgrade animals. So pretty standard. Classic Xing back build move, which is a very bold play when we have no enclosures for these. Well, we can't afford the Bird of Paradise, but surely there's no way we would put the Badger in the size 4. We don't have a project to do either. Opponent does snap up the breeding cooperation, so now they have 2 Australia even if they don't have an Australia animal in their hand. They're also very close to 4 or even 5 herbivores. X-back animals to follow. Seems like the opponent's getting very far ahead. They build their 4 size for the pelicans. So yeah, of course they do have the 2nd Australia animal anyway. Also build another pavilion. Native Farm's going to give a lot of tickets, but yeah, the endgames aren't looking great for it right now. We do just have 2nd University. Does give us 2 upgrades here, so build is 1, makes sense. I don't mind cards as the other. Could give us a lot more cards to sunbathe here. Sea Turtle Tank kind of fits nicely over the reputation now that build is upgraded. Hey, Half Attack. This is a fascinating game so far, I have to say. Opponent does their Pelican, and they get a nice little build 2 action. Not amazing. They just build a size 2 over the X token here. So maybe threatening to break 7, which means BDW should not do cards here, which he certainly knows. Oh, he does sponsor 7, plays Archaeologist plus, I'm gonna guess, breeding program from display. That's very nice. Is there any other card than Sea Cave that location is findable? Explain findable. I'm not sure where the Sea Cave location is. Are you saying you know where it is, Crops? I'm sure this is very findable. Opponent not even breaking it. They just play their breeding co-op, which we knew they had, but I guess with 1 card in hand, they're very happy to just draw cards this round as well. There you go. Doc knows where the Bavarian Forest is. Good point. Kind of a dead draw first card, but Talon's Communicator could be exactly what we need here. This is why we draw 1 at a time from the deck as well. Draws a donkey and immediately has the time to draw up the alpaca as well. So sort of transitioning to a petting zoo, like when you have 2, it's worthwhile building 1. Even on an observation tower where you can't make use of the tower. Hello, Nick. I am currently addicted to Ark Nova and getting very mad at it, so I might be in your position soon. Opponent just does cards at 4, gets their hand up to 3. Kiosk petting zoo we expect. Oh, does get nice 5 money from Archaeologists. Size 1 also just does not care about the tower, just wants maximum native farm points, but does play around this very well. That is a beautiful little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spot for the endgame shield here. It's going to be very tempting to cover this 5 money with Archaeologists, though, at some point during the game. I like that petting zoo shape, though. Very, very cute. Opponent just breaks here. We'll see if the opponent goes for Australia 2 or if they try to greed out to go for 5, because they have 3 at the moment. They don't have snapping. BDW does not either. Sea Turtle Tank finally goes, so thank God we kept it for this long just for it to be trashed. But yes, this hand is much better. We don't need the Sea Turtle Tank here. Goodbye, turtles. And I think you just play native farm here. It's not... You could get 4 more appeal by building here, but if you do that, you destroy any large enclosures you have, and I think the timing of getting the extra income from the appeal is just too good right now. Yeah, 10 extra appeal gives us 5 extra income, just definitely worth getting that in. I think the map does look pretty destroyed, but I mean, there's still a 4 size here, there can be a 5 size down here. It's manageable. There's an Africa release here, which he should definitely be looking at. Just takes it slow with Australia Partner Zoo. Ooh, opponent actually has a release for the Pelican. That's huge for them. But I think BDW is pretty happy with that. I think he'd be very happy to get a cheap 2 Australia here with his extra worker from Communicator. I have no idea when Marine Worlds is coming. I would expect not in the next month. It's still going to be a little while away. Like, it hasn't even hit alpha testing yet, so it's still got to go through that first. Building a 5 stars earlier, great for the seal. Good point. He still doesn't have animals upgraded, so I mean, the seal's still a while away. Opponent does take extra worker, and they get their 10 money. They also get... I missed what they got from 8 conservation points. 2 reputation. They also don't have any universities, but they have... Actually, I thought they'd have more of a point lead right now. It's actually looking a bit more even after native farm animals came down. But Talented Communicator comes out, and we now have 8 sponsors played and 0 animals. This is a very BDW style board right now. Where are the animals? No one knows. I'm actually doing cards at 3. They really want something from the display here. I wonder if it's to snap up the first seal. Not even. To take Quarantine Lab and a random card. That's very interesting. I don't think Quarantine Lab is that good for them here. Well, no animals, but he has sponsorship from so many different sources. Like, there are people supporting this zoo. We start off with the Lesser Bird of Paradise. Just to do 2 Australia. I mean, no, we could have already done 2 Australia with breeding program. And I expect he's going to put a pavilion on the X token here to get 5 extra money. That'll allow one of the petting zoos to be played. Thanks to Archaeologist. Does play the donkey for the X token. I mean, points are level now, but the opponent has a 40 money advantage. But they are stuffing around a little bit. I'm not sure on the Quarantine Lab play. It seems like First Seal would have been amazing for them. They have a great 5-size spot here for it too, and they have all the money in the world. Drawing 1 at a time. I think he'd be reasonably happy to get another sponsor. Cassowary might push him into going for 5 Australia here. Does draw up the Africa release too. Well, the opponent can use it for the hippo, so it's just better to deny the project. Does keep the Cassowary. Yeah, this zoo just has polar bears, penguins, and chickens. It's a pretty diverse zoo, to be fair. Opponent grabs their first university. They do take the science to rep. Possible they might have something that needs the second science tag. Otherwise, I think you'd just rather take the hand size. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they have like Sumatran tiger or the tamarin or something that needs that double science. BDW actually starts with the Lesser Bird of Paradise release. I was kind of in with Panda's plan of going for 2 Australia, then releasing the Cassowary, but also a missed opportunity. Could have definitely put the Lesser Bird of Paradise in the 4 size if his plan was to release it all along. So it obviously changed sort of after the animals were played. Does get to draw 3 cards now. Snowy Owl's a great draw with Penguin Pool. Sponsorship Reptile's pretty dead. Does drop the Flamingo as well, and takes 2 size, which he definitely needs. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about this. The 5 money is just too tempting down here with the Archaeologist proc. Does get the 5 money and uses the Clever ability from Archaeologist to clever down build. Could definitely be seeing break 5 next move. see what animals the opponent has, but they're about to take a big point lead here. Okay, red panda, so that does need the double science. And now roles reversed, their ×2 on sponsors is about to get broken here. Also giving BDW some points from polar bear exhibit, very nice. And red deer is herbivore number 5 with their breeding cooperation. So I'd say certainly the opponent's ahead. Although maybe cheetah changes things a little bit. Yeah, now we really wish we had a 5 size here. Just play the cheetah and then release it. Could have definitely put the 2 size top right. Get the clever and 5 money still. It's a good point. It does save the shield down here from native. It's a good point. Maybe that's a slight inaccuracy. Whoa, BDW not even breaking here. Just playing the alpaca. Does let the opponent get double X token from the sponsors, which I always like that as a move. When you have a ×2 on something, they could have definitely like broke 3, but that's not really that strong. Like getting 2X tokens is, I would say, even better. Now it kind of forces BDW to break here, which he always wants to do. And you're always discarding sponsorship reptiles. You kind of want to play expert in Europe. Cable car doesn't fit anywhere. I think you always want to drop this cheetah though. The thing, I think the 2 size goes next to the tower. You want to drop the cheetah, and then you have expert on Europe to play, but maybe just don't use the ability. I'm a bit surprised to see the cassowary go, because it is a bird. Oh, okay, we still have Science Lab. Okay, maybe we can get Victory Column and Cheetah as well. Oh, actually, no, Cheetah's just a bit out of our reputation range. Just do Gariza release. Does get the clever here. For an X token. Plays expert on Europe. I'd be a bit concerned about leaving the cheetah for the opponent though. I see what you're saying. Like, you don't want to build down here because it destroys an endgame shield from native farm animals. But I think there's a lot of upside, like being able to use the enclosure touching the tower. And then leaving the cheetah release for the opponent doesn't seem right. They're spending 2Xs to do a SOS, so they're probably going to snap up the sun bear here, I would guess. They do their herbivores. Here's a sun bear snap up, but not very easy for them to play. They would have to get their second university and then grab the Asia partner zoo, so might be more of a denial snap away. BDW keeping research here is better than Favor Zoo at this point without animals upgraded. King Vulture appears. I'm sure BDW is extremely happy to see that. They'll start with just 2 Australia, thanks to the cube from breeding program. And snaps up King Vulture, yes. So we basically have the next 4 animals that we want to play. Can play 2 this round, so the annoying thing is we're like 1 reputation short of being able to get another worker. We get 1 rep from the Snowy Owl. But without animals upgraded, there's no way to get like the third worker to do another project. So we may see another break here very soon. Opponent just builds a 2 and a 3. And they do take the white stalk from range, which is pretty scary. We have another 2 size here. This feels a tad unnecessary. This is looking like my kind of map, though. This is the unfillable map, like deluxe. This is how I'd build my map. I'm a bit concerned about the lack of money. I think the plan would be like play Flamingo Gariza, release the Gariza, break, then release Gariza, then you have your site, the enclosure for the King Vulture. I don't think we need this 3 size. We definitely don't need this 2 size. Good round to get 3rd uni. Yeah, we do really like 3rd uni actually with our science lab and research endgame. 3rd uni is a very good call. I think this game marketing has been still pretty strong. What have we played with marketing? Science lab, expert on America's native farm animals, expert on Europe. It's got out less percentage of our sponsors, but still done some work here. We just have second partners who to upgrade animals. So I mean, this is now we can get another worker to grab last uni as well. Opponent does block us on that though. They get the double science. Could mean they have something like Science Museum in hand. They upgrade a Sos. I mean, there's a lot of empty enclosures here. That's something you don't typically see from really strong players, but everything sort of has a plan of where it needs to go. Do start with the Gariza. And Penguin Pool doing a lot of work now. The kiosk also feels like it's a tiny bit of an inaccuracy at this point of the game. It's 3 extra income. Not sure the money's going to be that relevant. Might just prefer the extra point, really. But clever back build. We're not going to speak of the sea turtle tank again. Ah, yes. Expert on Americas. Okay, no. That's just me being dumb. Expert on Americas is definitely... Yes. Not an inaccuracy at all. Actually, an accuracy playing around the endgame sponsor. We do just have break 7. Desperately needing the break. I do wonder when he's going to find time to grab 3rd uni. It's basically free here. The opponent can't block it anymore. But it takes time to do everything. And the opponent gets punished for not having hand size. They have to discard 4 cards there. They did get to play Guerrilla Field Research. I'll say a pretty lucky draw from the deck there, thanks to Science Lab giving us another sponsor to play. Carpy was not going to do the job here. Does get to draw another card thanks to the size 2 and draws a sheep. Wow. But good ordering, drawing both cards from deck and then playing sponsor. Even snapping first. And yeah, we can still fit in 2 kiosks, one down here, one up here for expert. Also getting really close to archaeologist endgame as well. Not sure we're going to have time for another build action though. Opponent does snap away Meerkat Den. Okay, I guess. There is a brown bear that appears. Playable for both. Well, not playable for BDW because there's no 5 size here, but if the opponent could find time to get it and build a 5 size, maybe could be worth it. They do build a 5 size. I wonder if that is for Mr. Bear. Pavilion as well. Has a lot of money. And we'll know with their cards action. Starting with Snowy Owl. Just doing animals at 3. We don't particularly care about the reputation at this stage. There's no way we're going to get past 9. So there's no point spending 2x tokens to boost animals up here. Perception gives us another bird as well as a project. Was a small, potentially interesting. I mean, the project's a bit dead. Well, we do have a raccoon to release, actually. It's not that bad. Does get to boost down build here. Opponent, they don't even have to snap it up. They just get to draw it from range for hitting 13 rep. Yeah, they're very happy playing that. Gets them their last worker. It gives BDW some more bear points. We'll see if the opponent has some projects to do. But they do play Sumatran Tiger as well. That might have been why they were so desperate to get Quarantine Lab. They probably were holding on to this tiger for a long time. But they have a times 2 on a So's. They're close to ending. It just depends on what projects they have, if any. Expanding next to do the Africa release. So, I mean, the opponent can release the hippo now, but that's not a big deal. Would you get 12 money here? So, kind of hoping the opponent can't end, although maybe it's not that bad. We don't really have a... I mean, we could play Raccoon and boost up Savannah, but King Vulture and Sheep are just much better animals to play. In fact, this probably crosses, right? Yeah. King Vulture and Sheep just crosses. Opponent just gets their 3rd uni, so they must not have a lot to do. They get a very cheap donation, though. Marabou better than Sheep. Well, it's even with Sheep. Because you're getting the extra from Penguin Pool. Oh, sorry. No, it's just straight up better because of the tower. I stand corrected. Marabou is better than Sheep even. Yeah, opponent just does the Africa release. They take 12 money and donate, so they might have an animal left across. But they're actually just sort of run out of steam, and their endgames are not looking that good. They do have Quarantine Lab. They are just short of Breeding Corporation. I'm wondering if we find time to build here. It's actually really tempting to build 2. The opponent doesn't have anything to do. But building gets us the Archaeologist endgame and Expert on America's endgame. Would have to build 3. Build like kiosk up here, pavilion size 1, and then playing the King Vulture gives us the kiosk down here. Does play Marabou. think because the opponent's not threatening to break either, it's very tempting. Does play raccoons. I mean, not ending the game. Oh, that's actually... Okay, that's a much better move than just building. Now we can boost down association. Now we can finish with King Vulture and Sheep. That's even better. That's a much better move. So, I mean, that's high-level play. I missed that line. This is just enough points to not cross. And now we can play 2 amazing animals to finish with. Opponent's just stuck doing cards. Yeah, they've run out of things to do. So this is the perfect time where you don't want to end the game. Like, BDW could even take a build action here to hit Archaeologist. The opponent just has nothing left. They can't cause the break. There's no threat, basically. PP's line is bonkers. Raccoon. Yeah. Panda saw it. That's a good find by Panda. I did not find that. Cross during break? You can definitely cross during break with player sponsor for money. Just decides to end here. Maybe the opponent found a project to do, and a project could be... Project could make the difference, because any project gives them an extra conservation point from Breeding Corporation. So instead of allowing them to X-Back, just finish the game here. Like, building is only plus 4 points. But we do get Expert on Americas thanks to the King Vulture. Doesn't find a better animal, sadly. Could have found the wallaby. No, we can definitely get Archaeologist because of the 2 extra kiosks from Expert on Americas. We were at 98. But I think this is the safer play. Like, crossing with 120 is a great cross here when the opponent only has 13 money and can't do a SOS action. Well, can't do a project. They can grab 2 reputation, might be their best move. They do have an animal. Okay, they play the Lynx. They get their Quarantine Lab, but we have Science Lab, America's Communicator, Penguin Pool as well, and only 1 from Research Zoo. So it turns out Favorite Zoo would have been a better keep, but hard to know at that point in the game. Yeah, so much value. I was a bit dubious about all like the map and the native farm, but it worked out fantastically at the end. I'd say this is more of a game where Penguin Pool carried, but the player sponsor for money gave a ton of tempo. Native farm also coming in huge for like plus 10 appeal and 5 income. Really solid game. I don't think it was particularly quick. Definitely wasn't as fast paced like Breaking, but nearly the same amount of turns, 30 turns. 31 for the opponent. 5 breaks. And that's a strong opponent as well. 1900 arena, nearly 650, over 650 rating. And we actually have a 3rd game today. I have not seen this one at all. But apparently it's a good one from Dwarvintime with also marketing first. We'll go through it a bit quicker. Shocked it's only 30. It was kind of fast paced. Yeah, I mean that's definitely the difference in their playstyles. BDW loves playing as sponsors, so he got out like 12 sponsors or something ridiculous, whereas Panda was just like break, break, break. But Panda had the sponsors to sort of help that game plan a bit more. We'll see how Dwarventime plays it. But also some crazy. Sorry, I did watch the first few moves, and there were some interesting moves. We're going to see our friend come back. So Dwarventime's first player, Primates, Species Diversity Africa, End Goals, Large Animal Sponsored. We have a partner zoo on 5, so immediately we're looking at Australia release and Crocodile. Pretty expensive first release, but to get the partner zoo is nice. And what else do you keep here? I'm not actually sure. Meerkat Den is a free species, but also, if we're starting with Australia partner zoo, when is this coming out? Not sure. I like Hydrologist as well. Like, you can play it after the Crocodile even, get an appeal. Does decide to keep the Meerkat Den too. Interesting display. Obviously, Sloth Bear will be highly contested with the double species for species diversity. We do just start with Australia Partner Zoo. And with the Partner Zoo, it costs the same amount of money as an ostrich, but Dwarventime plays this differently to how Panda did. He does not care about the tower, just builds it over the 5 money. Without hand size is a bit more awkward because there's going to have to be a bit discarded here. The opponent just starts with America's Partner Zoo themselves, and they do have a 5 size, so a little bit dangerous. Dwarven does play the Crocodile, could immediately get pilfered here, but first snap, our friend the Sea Turtle tank. And does take the Sloth Bear away, so interesting leaving Science Lab up there. Opponent chooses not to pilfer here if they have the monkey. Strongly suspect they do with Primates as a project. They just draw 2 cards from the deck. And personally, I was on board the break 5 here, but Panda took the Sea Turtle tank for a reason. Dwarven took the Sea Turtle tank for a reason and does play it. Sells Hydrologist and Meerkat Den. Just dumps it up here. Most likely looking to snap up Science Lab, and then these are the 3 cards that you want to keep, which is why the other 2 were sold. It's a bit sad selling Hydrologist there, but it makes sense if you're going to snap up Science Lab next. Opponent plays Geologist. And now we snap up Science Lab. Opponent does another build action. So you can definitely X-back animals here. I would have been tempted to just build a 3 size for the Sloth Bear and would have been punished pretty hard from this pilfer because you don't want to give up any of these cards. But yeah, have to give 5 money here. If the Australia release gets pilfered, it's just actually game over most likely. They do play the Kawadi as well, so yeah, okay, they have 3 species now. Species race not looking fantastic, although we do have 3 ourselves, but this is not even played yet. And Dwarven just causes the break here. So opponent should definitely be trying to rush out species 5 here. But luckily, well, thankfully for Dwarven, does have a project to get the partner zoo straight away. Actually, small animals appearing is a nice break for the opponent, honestly. They get to snap it up here and then play it immediately with their double small animals. That's good timing for them. Only thing that would have been better is one of these breeding programs. We dive release into marketing first. That certainly means that sponsors will be upgraded here. Otherwise, there's just no point taking it. See what he decides to drop. Does upgrade build. Hitting Zoo School is nice. That'll be the next playable sponsor during the break. Very handy. Also getting closer to the 10 money here. Opponent does their small animals and takes snapping first, which is more conventional. Is there anything particularly interesting? Maybe Koala's a good denial from Dwarven? Could be interested in the Wallaby or the bird for the species tags. Does take the Wallaby, so going hard on species 5 here. And they do upgrade build themselves. Expert on Asia looks like another great sponsor target. Let's go Kiosk, Pavilion, and must be 3 size touching the tower. Opponent breaks 5, which Dwarvintime must be delighted about, because he doesn't want to, does not want to stay in this round at all. Actually, amazing timing. I think that's a pretty big mistake. The opponent is very happy to build and then play animals. Just breaking helps Dwarven a lot here. Does get to break with cards. Just draws from the deck. Waza Large looks like it'll be very nice. So, I mean, this is the common theme. You're tight on money. Obviously, all 3 players had releases first, I think, from memory. So you're tight on money, and you're spending money on sponsors. So something like Waza Large saving 10 money on an enclosure is going to be very nice. Probably just get rid of the donkey here. And Vulture. Herbivore breeding and Panda looking like a good combination. It's just out of Science Lab reach though. Does drop a Hornbill. Oh, never mind. We get to play Zoo School and get the Koala. Almost certainly going to be the Koala here. Wow, really? This is an amazing Koala. I'm actually shocked by that. You just get the rep first and you have a Koala. I'm not crazy, right? Opponent snaps up the Herbivore breeding program. And now Migration appears. They do get to do their build action. Something they would have liked to have done last round. They just build a 2 and petting zoo, so they must have 5 species here, and they're just going to play them and support it at 5. The dingo does look migratable. Dwarven actually spends an X just to break 5 here, giving enough money to play the sloth bear. And then just do species at 3. You can give up the 5 for species here. The opponent clearly has it in hand. They do play the taper. If I'm the opponent, I'm digging away Migration Recording. Maybe even digging away the Koala. Yeah, 1 goes. And just digs from their hand. 18 is perfect for the Koala. Aren't you shocked by not drawing up the Koala there? I totally would have done that. Much better animal than the sloth bear to play. We already have the partner zoo for it. Yeah, no more recordings to be migrated, sadly. Opponent does their species, and if I'm them, I'm looking at 5 money or size 2. Maybe Worker here. I mean, the round's already 5 out of 9. Probably not Worker. Yeah, just 5 money. They also get a ×2, which they might put on cards or sponsors. Oh, they also hit 8 shields and get the 10 money there, which is nice. Speaks into 5 money. 5 money definitely needed here. The 2 rep also comes at a nice time. Does make Waza large playable. Also upgrades a Sos. That's interesting. So we have the upgrades build sponsors a Sos. I guess with Waza large, you can mostly skip on animals here, because this just takes away the upgraded animals requirement for all the big ones. Card's not coming for a very long time though, needing 2 universities. We're already on 6 rep. He's not going to upgrade animals or cards, I would guess. Opponent just breaks here. Which, I mean, again, I think Dwarventime's happy with. Like, he's out of money, but it's also a 16-point lead. Opponent does get first snap. Probably looking at Asia release here. Just take that away from Dwarven. Although Monkey Park with matching project gives you 2 monkeys as well. But yeah, release more important. Does draw Expert on Australia. Which one are you going to play for money? Surely Waza. Oh no, actually, so plays Expert on Australia for the extra income. Okay, that makes sense. 2 extra appeal, pouch. Did not expect the Hornbill to be pouched. We like the Dingo. I think it's extremely funny that he gets the Koala here now as well. Does just casually drop the Koala from folder 1. Such an amazing animal. And it's for free. Build a kiosk and build a pavilion over the 5 money. Just being able to just afford the Koala now. This Koala comes with 3 pouching, so we want to draw a lot of cards before playing animals. The opponent now X's back cards. They don't want to break because they have so much money. Good night. They don't want to break because they have so much money, but also they only have 3 cards in hand. Like, they need to see more cards. One of them is Asia release, which is unplayable at the moment. So I think they've sort of put themselves in an awkward position by breaking 5 earlier. They kind of feel like they want to have a really slow round, but because they've built up all this money that they couldn't spend earlier by breaking 5. Dwarven's happy to just do cards here. Well, well, well. Giant Panda. With thankfully, Sos is upgraded here, so we can grab the Asia partner zoo. We have the Koala with the Herbivore. I think the opponent would have had a lot less headaches if they got rid of this Koala. But this looks like a Panda that's going to come in very clutch towards the end of the game. Opponent does their Herbivore breeding program. They're sort of neglecting their upgrades. They do take 2 sides, which I like. They could have also definitely built, but I guess they're kind of worried the Dwarven's going to break 7. I think you definitely still find time to play Waza large here. I mean, with diversity research, it can go anywhere. Opponent does take 2 sides, which I do like. I think they had time to build first. Sponsor Zoo looking pretty nice. Dwarven does not have hand size, but I mean, we're not going to have a break soon, so... Koala what? I guess you can pouch the Dingo now. I don't really want to pouch the others. Like, maybe you can just pouch Waza large. I don't know, I feel like you want to pouch as much as you can to just keep up with points. diversity goes. Okay. Definitely don't want to pouch these. Oh yeah. YouTube's gonna auto block all links. Opponent builds a 4 size, touching 2 water but not next to the tower. They want to draw something. They do draw up the monkey park. And it definitely feels too late for a kiosk. Interesting position. So the opponent can't snap up the eagle, which we definitely want. And this is why we keep Waza large, for the random eagles that show up. As Dwarven, what do you do here? I'd be very tempted to just grab Asia Partner Zoo break 7. Does project first? Okay, yeah, we can do the herbivore breeding thanks to the koala being played. Another reason they should have denied the koala. Okay, and we do get snapping here. Yeah, this eagle's going to be very useful. Also, first donation at 2, nice. I've actually taken a point lead now, but the opponent has a 50 money advantage. It's just really, can they spend it in time? Oh man, they actually X back animals. That's a bad sign. Dwarven just X's back cards so that he can break 7. Opponent plays their monkey park. Yeah, opponent only has 1 partner zoo, no universities, so they're either going to play inefficiently with unupgraded actions right now, or they're going to have to spend time grabbing partner zoo in a following round. Either way, it's a sort of awkward position for them. Like, they have so much money and they just can't spend it. This is also because they X-back cards earlier. They needed to see more cards. But here, Dwarven just breaks 7. Now the opponent's going to have 84 money. They need like double elephant and they still can't spend it all. Have some nice looking sponsors here. We always want to play Waza large, but could definitely see the hippo being taken from Science Lab and then snapping up like federal grants or something. Still think you'd play Waza large here. Okay, you play federal grants for the extra income. Yeah, 5 money. Maybe instead of worker. Maybe 2 sides earlier would have helped them. I'm not sure. I think they'll probably be looking to snap up the monkey here. They take us. Oh no, okay, that's a very good sponsor for them. Actually, maybe Dwarven should have denied that. That's a great sponsor for the opponent. They have even more money because of Geologist and the size 2. Oh wait, hold up. Are we actually gonna see an emu here? There's 1 aviary spot on the map. It's not a pretty one, but it's there. I'm wondering. This is a good value emu as well. It comes with 1 pouch. Opponent does 2 primates. Now they get their worker. Very, very late to be getting worker at this stage. But they do even up the points. They do have empty enclosures. It's not all bad. Yeah, Dwarven just grabs Asia Partner Zoo here, which we need to play Panda. Gets a 2nd donation as well. Opponent does cards from the deck, does not deny the emu. Very dangerous. I mean, they should definitely take cards from the deck. 3 sizes for Panda. 2 sizes for Hippo, okay. We could have afforded both if we didn't donate. Interesting. Opponent builds another 4-size, this one touching double rock. So, I mean, it looks like they have a couple of big animals to play it, at least for them. Yeah, oh my god. The aviary is dead. He did not see the lion. Does just throw down the panda, so hippo's coming later, it looks like. Nice panda giving extra worker. We don't have a project to do with it, though. I can't imagine we're grabbing university at this stage. Maybe we're just grabbing 4th partner zoo for 2 CP and a donation. That looks alright, actually. Yeah, opponent just grabs Africa, upgrades animals. So they probably needed this animals upgrade a long time ago. They might have, like, the Indian rhino or something. Dwarven just does cards here. Guided school tours is good. So I expect both... Oh, actually, only being able to keep 3 cards here. Because he definitely wants to break next move, I think. You'd really love to play Guided School Tours after you play the Hippo, but you need Waza to play the Eagle, and you're always keeping Waza and Eagle, and then you can't keep Hippo and Guided School Tours. And, interesting. So, maybe he just plays Waza here. Maybe he just grabs hand size, I'm not sure. Well, okay, Dwarven is here. We were never building an Aviary? What do you mean? Opponent plays Jaguar. They hunt a brown bear. So is this actually the 3rd game we're seeing the opponent play a brown bear? That's a pretty crazy coincidence. They do keep it, and like it's playable for them. It's a perfect card for them when they have a ton of money and they want extra actions. They do play Dusky Leaf. They just really can't spend all their money in time. Clever back cards I do like. Dwarven does play school tours here. Ooh. And Science Institute. Okay, I mean, that's actually extra for Sponsor Zoo endgame. Feels like the opponent's very happy, though. They get to play their Expert on Americas here. For 6 appeal. And then they get to build a 5-size for the brown bear. I think they're extremely happy staying in this round. Like, Dwarven's... What is this worker doing? Just Partner Zoo. Okay, Europe. They do build a 5-size for that bear. It is a medium-sized zoo. I was looking at small animals up here, but definitely not leachable. Okay, Dwarven does have stuff to do. Playing a Thorny Devil for Oh, never... Whoa, hang on. Sea Turtle tank here. And pouching. There's too much choice. But I don't think you want to get rid of any card here. Oh my god, the Hippo. That Hippo just got destroyed. That's sad. Opponent does play Rock Monitor. I think there's no way you play the brown bear here as them. Be a complete mistake too. Oh no. I mean, ×2 is... You can't do a project with it. I guess with 2 cards in hand, they probably don't have a project anyway. But they can't even grab Partner Zoo. Grabbing a uni at this point is just pointless. I mean, they're still staying up with the score. Not like Dwarven has a project either. Yeah, both players have no projects on the horizon. Dwarven draws from the deck and we'll never know what he got because the replay bugs here. opponent just builds a pavilion and kiosk. The opponent really signaling they have nothing to do. I think desperately trying to hit expert on America's endgame. They can do kiosk here, kiosk here. But only a 4 size. I guess they have a 2 size coming in. Dwarven just breaks here. Will we ever know what cards these are? It might actually kill the replay, which would be sad. I hope it doesn't. Okay, cable car, a Carpy stable. Wait, hang on, a Carpy? Wait, hang on, a Carpy stable here? Cable car can go. Are we going to see a Carpy into Wazala? I mean, that could actually be a potential extra point from Sponsored Zoo, right? If we can find a way to get another sponsor. So it has to always be worth playing. Wow. A Carpy into Wazalaj into... No, a Carpy into Medical Breakthrough. Play Wazalaj. Oh, tough decisions to make. It is a Carpy. What a god. I think it always makes sense there. Yeah, the timing of Medical Breakthrough makes too much sense. Now it's a bit awkward getting this Wazalaj down. Does draw away the lion. Good deny there. Definitely don't want the opponent playing that in their 4 size. Plus it's an Africa tag. There's also the Agama. So the opponent could have got 4 Africa with lion Agama. Opponent gets zebra anyway. Now they wish they had some more enclosures. But the Agama's also out of reputation range for them. So not easy for them to get that either. But they do draw up the zebra. They also choose not to take the clever here. Okay, yeah, sorry, they need that for the last kiosk if they're ever gonna. So, I mean, they can fill map. Be easier if they had an America's animal. They start with a SOS 8. Australia Partner Zoo. Oh, they do have their Asia release from before. Into X tokens. They do get to donate as well because they still have so much money. What are we doing as Dwarven here? I think the first move has to be spend double X's on getting Wazalaj out. It's just build 6. That feels... Okay, now Wazalaj fills map. You're really banking on the fact that the opponent can't end, which I guess is a reasonable decision, but if the opponent ends here, you feel very silly not being able to play Eagle. Fill it up. Yeah, looks like that's the plan. Opponent does animals at 3. They do play Eagle. I'm not sure if they want to end because they also kind of want to fill up the map. It's just Eagle into what map fill? Wait, they concede? Charles, do you want to explain yourself? They have 1 card in hand. Is that really a concedable position? The only card in their hand is Zebra, so I guess without the Agama it's not playable. They just have nothing. They can fill map, but they have no project to do. I think you always just draw cards here. Yeah, hang on. You sent this in to me, Dwarven? I trusted you. After last week and everything, I trusted you. I don't think their position is that bad. At the very least, the opponent can fill map and grab 4th Partner Zoo. That doesn't seem that bad. That gets them to cross. They fill map, they get expert on America's endgame, they get a donation and last Partner Zoo. That's like That crosses. What if you have nothing dwarvintime? And yeah, Dwarven doesn't even have a project to do. I think this is definitely winnable by the opponent. Oh, sorry, Dwarven does have a release now because the opponent threw out the Asia release. So yeah, Dwarven was... It was probably over anyway. Like map fill Eagle into Slothbear release. It's probably enough with the maxed out endgame. Yeah, Dwarven also could have crossed during break. It's funny that Panda release is nearly better because of Guided School Tool's diverse species endgame. But Slothbear release still better. Is conceding common? Yes and no. I would say my opponent concedes in maybe 30% of games, maybe 25. I very, very rarely concede because there are games like this where maybe Dwarventime just like literally has nothing and they can't finish. I think it's always worth playing it out. Yeah, I mean, the opponent did also know about Dwarventime's Eagle, I think. It was... Wait, was it public knowledge? Maybe not. No, I think it was public knowledge. He did snap it up pretty early on. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's always worth playing it out. Like, you have 2 endgames here. I guess this is basically like 1... I mean, it's only 2 over here as well. 3 over here. I mean, it's still only 2. Doesn't have federal grants. Anyway, we are ending on that game. And another 29 turner. This was... Yeah, it would have been 10 sponsors played. Pretty fast game as well, thinking time-wise. 5 breaks. Triggered end of game. No. Well, Doc, you got to make it happen. I want to see a 26 turn game with marketing first as well. You have to be the one. You have to make the change in the world that you want to see. So I'll look forward to you sending that in to me next week. Otherwise, thanks all for watching. We'll see you guys on Sunday for the regular BGA gameplay. Have a good rest of the day.